I'm David Black. I'm a criminal defense lawyer in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm talking today about unemployment fraud. What is unemployment fraud? Well, if you're on this video, you may have received one of two things: either a call or a letter from the Arizona Department of Economic Security accusing you of a fraudulent overpayment. That's the first sign that there might be an unemployment fraud case. Or a summons to court saying you've been charged with, and sometimes it's like 10 or 20 felony charges, ranging from theft to false statements to obtain benefits to fraud or fraud schemes. Generally speaking, unemployment fraud is the following crime. An individual misstated their characteristics to make themselves eligible for benefits they would not otherwise be entitled to. What does that mean? They were working when they said they weren't. We get calls all the time from people who were genuinely confused. A very common thing that I get is somebody who had two jobs. They lost one of the two jobs. Their employer said, go ahead and apply for benefits. And they went ahead and applied for benefits. And when they were applying, the government asked them, did you earn any money this week? And they put no. And in their head, they've told me, they were thinking, well, I didn't make any money from the job for which I had the unemployment insurance, and that's why I put no. And the government's thinking, no, you just put no from any source, and that's a lie. And so we're going to charge you with all these crimes. So what we want to do is we want to be realistic with how these cases play out, which is remarkably favorably for almost everybody, but also examine defenses to see, is our client actually guilty? If there's evidence that somebody told you to apply for this and that you had a genuine misunderstanding and that the misunderstanding was reasonable, then we have a very good pitch for a dismissal or a further reduction of the charges. But in Maricopa County, at least as recent as 2026, if you're charged with unemployment fraud because you made false statements to obtain benefits and you prepay the restitution, even if you're charged with those 20 felonies, the case is almost universally resolved with misdemeanors. Okay, so unlike a standard fraud case where somebody lies to a prospective client to obtain $20,000 or $25,000, where they're going to be charged with all these felonies and it's serious and they could go to prison and they might be a felon and all that. With unemployment fraud, it's remarkably simple. Pay it back. The government gives you a misdemeanor. No guarantee, but that's what's been happening since I've been practicing. Now, if somebody has prior felonies or a prior theft-related misdemeanor, the Attorney General's office will not offer that outright misdemeanor. We've been able to negotiate it anyway with some, good mitigation or explanation of the priors, but they won't do that. And if you're not able to pay it back, it doesn't mean you're going to prison, all right? What I would tell you is this: if you can't pay that restitution back, do not hire me. Okay, if you're guilty. The most important thing you do is pay that money back if you owe that money. And after that, yes, hire me. I'll do the very best I can. But your deal, if you're guilty, is going to be much better if you prepay that restitution than if you give me the money. In fact, I'll be frustrated if you give it to me and then I work out a deal contingent upon prepayment and you say I gave you all the money. At the end of the day, these cases are eminently manageable, much more so than any other type of fraud case. A lot of people do this. They get desperate, especially during COVID. They get confused. They have mouths to feed. Some people believe they're entitled to it because it's an insurance policy and they misunderstand what it is. But you're not a bad person. You're not alone. And I'm very happy to help you through the process. Feel free to call me. We don't charge to discuss these cases, so we'll see if it's a good fit. Our number is 480-280-8028. Thank you.